I need at my fingertips. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and at Midwest Bank, you'll love banking here.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and we'd like to say thank you for a record-setting 2023. So let's start off 2024 with the bang. They've got huge trade-in bonuses and finance bonusing happening right now on our new inventory at Coppell. Get up to $8,500 off select new models at Coppell. So if you're shopping for a new GM product, go to our website at coppellcars.com. You won't believe the discounts. Make that short money-saving drive down 144th Street. You'll be glad you did. Must have trade and finance with roof credit. Stock number G2076684.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Concrete Industries, a Nebco company, has immediate job openings for precast production laborers. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $20 per hour and a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Husker fans, your fourth-ranked Nebraska wrestling team needs you to pack the Bob Devaney Sports Center on Friday, January 12th for their Big Ten home opener and a top 5 matchup against number 2 Iowa. The duel will begin at 6:30, and the first 300 fans will receive a Nebraska wrestling shirt. For more information or to secure your tickets, visit huskers.com/tickets or call 402-472-3111.
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into the happy hour. Happy Thursday on a beautiful day here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Rico here, joined by the one and only Austin Orman. Austin, how are we this morning?
Hi, everyone.
Morning, day.
It's
not morning, afternoon.
Just barely afternoon, but great. It's the happy hour. It's the show. Nick and I jokingly referred to it as the happier hour while you were in Tampa. It's now the happiest hour.
It's the best.
It's true.
It's literally the best. Nick should be in Mexico by now.
Should be drinking by now, he said.
He left. I think they flew out. They were supposed to fly out at like 6 or 7. He didn't fly out to like 8.
Oh.
He was sending pictures and texting Raph and AD. Not me. It's fine. I thought we were friends. We were co-hosts, but he texts his other friends, his other buddies. It's fine. I'm over it.
Well, here's the thing. He likes AD because of his status, right?
100%.
Nick writes coattails. We know that about him.
100%. Big coattail rider.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, welcome into the happy hour brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting. We appreciate everything that they do for us. And you guys can get in touch with us, 402-464-5685, the Honda Lincoln Hotline, Starter Heyman text line, or leave a comment, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. Allo channel 961 from Omaha all the way out to Scottsbluff and beyond, just all across this beautiful state of Nebraska on the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream. You guys can join us. You leave a comment on any of those, guess what I can do? I can throw it up on the screen. So be nice, or we'll call you out on the screen.
I put someone in timeout yesterday.
Did you?
I did.
Nice. I haven't blocked anybody yet, except for the bots, but I haven't put anybody in timeout.
Yeah, I've put more commenters in timeout than I have my son.
Jeez.
So.
Well, he's too young to be put in timeout.
Hey, just let me have it, man.
I put my kids in timeout 4 times yesterday in like a 10-minute span. So don't worry, you'll get there. Like I said, welcome in. And today we have a loaded show for you. Yesterday was the craziest. Yesterday and like the end of 2 days ago was the craziest 24, 48 hours that I have experienced in quite some time in the sports realm, as 3 legendary coaches. We can say legendary, right? 3? Yeah, 3 legendary coaches.
Okay, let's have this discussion. Who is the most legendary? Who is the least legendary?
Oh.
I think Carroll is pretty clearly the least legendary. I mean,
Carroll
fewest titles, but
he has two
amount of
national titles at USC? Or 1?
2.
2 at USC, a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
2 Heisman winners?
Yeah. Back
Reggie,
then, but
Reggie
yes,
has
Reggie
a
counts.
Heisman.
Yes.
So
and then Leinart.
2 national titles.
Or did he have Palmer? Was Palmer before him?
I don't know.
Because Pete started at USC in 01.
Yeah. He would have had Palmer.
Yeah, Palmer won it in 2002.
Okay.
So Carroll had 3.
3 Heisman winners, 2 national titles, a Super Bowl, and should have been 2 Super Bowls, but a Super Bowl for Pete Carroll. 7 national titles for Nick Saban.
7
national titles. Yeah, 7 national titles, 1 at LSU, 6 at Bama. 6 Super Bowls for Bill Belichick in New England. 7 Super Bowls. I think he won it in New York. He wasn't the head coach. I think he was there with Parcells.
Yeah.
So he has 7 Super Bowls. Ooh.
Those
2 are tough.
I'm a Belichick hater, but I think he's more legendary because he did it really exclusively in one place. And the Patriots weren't a great franchise before he got there. Alabama needed some resurrecting, that needed a facelift, right? And what Nick Saban did, the way he helped Alabama evolve from defense first and run first into having a top 2 offense in the sport 5 years in a row, not long after that, absolutely incredible. Climbed the ranks, right? Won a title at 2 different SEC schools. But I still just think Belichick getting 6 Super Bowls in New England, having the player to define his tenure and a player whose tenure he defined in Tom Brady, I give the legend status nod to Belichick.
Now, you would think that I would side with you automatically and not have any reservations about this, but I do, because of having that single player tied to your dynasty. Him and Tom Brady pretty much attached at the hip the entire time for all 6 of those Super Bowls, whereas Nick Saban had to do it with different players every 3 years. And I think that gives him the nod, because he not only had to do it with a different team every few years, he adjusted his style. I don't know, both coaches adjusted their styles as they went on, but the way that Nick Saban adjusted his style from game manager, pocket passer, to then getting athletic quarterbacks in Jalen Hurts, Tua Tagovailoa. There was somebody before that I cannot remember his name. But going from a pocket passer, game manager quarterback to then a not scrambling, but a guy who can use his legs more often than not, and just being able to produce first round draft pick after first round draft pick, not having a single class that would have stayed with him for 4 years. Every person that stayed with Saban for 4 years has at least one national title. Like that is just a crazy statistic. I have to give the nod to Nick Saban. It's close, but I think Nick Saban, of the 3 legendary coaches who retired, were fired, whatever you want to say, stepped down in the last 48 hours, to me, it goes Saban, Belichick, and then a distant third, Carroll.
It's splitting hairs. It's splitting atoms. I get it. But you, of all people, should know, too, what Belichick did in New England was essentially what Saban did, right? Saban could only keep guys 4 to 5 years until the portal era, and I don't know how many sixth-year seniors he ended up having. But think about how Belichick in New England were so good about targeting the few guys they wanted to stay, but letting everyone else walk and doing it over again.
It was annoying how Belichick would cut players or let them walk, and you're sitting there thinking they're in their prime, they're so good, they go somewhere else and they flame out. Belichick and the Patriots were so good at releasing players right before their career, again, not took a nosedive, but took a downward
before they weren't worth the contract
trajectory in terms of what they were offering you and then to what they became. So there is that. But again, he had Tom Brady for all 6. He had the same quarterback. He was able to, I don't know about if get him weapons is the right term, aside from Gronkowski and the few years that they had with Hernandez, because getting, Wes Welker.
They had the 2007 team.
And Randy Moss, like every once in a while.
Deion Branch, Corey Dillon.
Look, those guys were weapons, but
not
to this. I love them. I love that. I love Deion Branch. I love Deion Branch. Don't do this to me.
James White.
Don't make me do this.
Rico. You can't say they didn't give Tom Brady weapons.
They did not surround Tom Brady with the same weapons that every other quarterback was surrounded by. Tom Brady made some of those players into really good players.
Correct.
You saw Wes Welker in Miami and wherever else he was. Denver. He was okay, but then again, he went from Tom Brady to Peyton Manning.
Right. And he was good when Peyton was good.
Julian Edelman was a converted quarterback from Toledo.
Like Danny Amendola is the one that stands out to me.
Danny Amendola was fantastic. Rex Burkhead, for what he did in New England, what New England was able to do with running backs and the running back by committee. When I think of running back by committee, I think of what New England did with a James White, with a Rex Burkhead, with whoever else they were, Ramondre Stevens, whoever else they were using. They were using 3-4 running backs, and all of them were getting carries throughout the season. Not one guy was that workhorse, except, Rex Burkhead they used in power situations, James White they used in passing downs. Like, they had specific roles. They played them to the umpth degree, and it's just impressive what they were able to do. But again, with Saban and with Alabama, just doing the recruiting, bringing these guys in, them knowing they're going to sit for a year, and then some of them sit for 2 years, and then still being able to produce year after year after year with maybe some freshmen making some plays, usually seniors and juniors, a couple of here and there. Like, just being able to do that with a new team every 4 years, we'll just say that, a new team every 4 years, and still winning to the level that he won at, to me, he has to be number one.
I never thought I would be arguing for Bill Belichick in a conversation like this.
I never thought I'd be going against Bill Belichick.
How the turntables. How the turntables. Greetings to those fellows walking by here on fan cam.
Is it snowing outside?
It is very lightly
Or
flurrying.
is it the wind blowing the snow off of like the top of the building?
That's actually probably it. Because the snow's not supposed to start till like 3, right?
It's bothering me.
My other point on Belichick. Most of my argument boils down to Nick Saban had to rein in a lot more than Belichick did, right? The boosters, the politics, SEC everything. But I go back to New England hadn't been there before.
Yeah.
So remote in the middle of nowhere. Bama is a dyed-in-the-wool college blue blood. Yes, they've had pockets of, wilderness and wandering, and Strick and I are going to talk about that during On the Block. But New England had not been consistently successful before Belichick. He basically made that organization out of nothing.
You're right.
Where, yes, Saban had to resurrect Alabama, but they at least had that institutional knowledge of what it took to build a winner. So I give points to Belichick for doing that at, a step up.
I get it. I don't want to argue against Bill Belichick.
But here you are.
But here I am arguing against Bill Belichick. We had a texter. Hold on, I have to read this one. Look at the dudes Saban had. Yes, new dudes, but you're reloading 5 stars every year. But not all of those 5 stars hit. Sometimes you miss. Sometimes you get the 3 stars that end up being good. And that's a part of it where you have to work these guys into being those dudes. And then that might actually take away from your Belichick thing, because you have those 5 stars, those dudes that you then send to the NFL. And guess what? They're dudes. You know quote unquote, who you're going to get. So in the NFL, you're drafting these guys. And what Belichick
you also
did,
draft Kyle Duggar.
What Belichick did, him and Saban, besties for life. They're best friends. That video of them in Cleveland is going around, and they would talk with each other every offseason, and the amount of Alabama players that Bill Belichick would go and bring in was astounding, and a lot of them worked out really well.
Did you see the number about how much money Nick Saban's Alabama dudes have made in the NFL?
It was like
$2.2 billion.
Yeah. A lot of those guys went to New England.
Insane.
Big fans.
And yes,
big fans.
Corey, to your point, yes, I know Parcells did take the Patriots to that Super Bowl, before Brady and Belichick. But my point is the consistency, right? Pretty much every team can have a one-off run to a Super Bowl, but to have the sustained dominance of a division, it would have been and to cap it off with Super Bowl wins too, right? The Patriots very easily could have been the 90s Braves of the NFL, but they didn't. They actually capped it all off.
6 times.
Yeah.
And went multiple other times. But we're going to talk more about Saban and Belichick in a later segment. We have to go to a break right now. When we come back, I was going to say everything that we were going to talk about. When we come back, Nebraska football in the portal. Got an offensive lineman yesterday. I wasn't on the air when it happened. I know I believe Austin got his takes out about Nebraska getting that offensive lineman yesterday. They also get a big body wide receiver today. Earlier, I got a little bit of my takes out as I was on the air for that one. But we're going to talk about Micah Mazuka and Jamal Banks coming up next on the Happy Hour.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Discover a healthier, happier you with Weight Loss Professional Nutrition. We are not about quick fixes, but real, sustainable change. With our advanced nutrition plans, expertly designed by our certified nutritionists, we're with you at every step on your weight loss journey. Step into the world of well-being with Weight Loss Professional Nutrition, where we believe in the power of smart diet choices. Visit weightlossprofessionalnutrition.com today or call 800-597-3991 to get 30% off your first month and start your transformation. A new you is just a click away, or a call to 800-597-3991.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Problem gambling is not just a financial issue. It's an emotional problem with financial consequences. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car and your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Service Ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Concrete Industries, a Nebco company, has immediate job openings for precast production laborers. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $20 per hour and a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Copple Chevrolet GMC. And we'd like to say thank you for a record-setting 2023. So let's start off 2024 with the bang. They've got huge trade-in bonuses and finance bonusing happening right now on our new inventory at Copple. Get up to $8,500 off select new models at Copple. So if you're shopping for a new GM product, go to our website at copplecars.com. You won't believe the discounts. Make that short money-saving drive down 144th Street. You'll be glad you did. Must have trade and finance with roof credit. Stock number G207684.
Husker fans, your fourth-ranked Nebraska wrestling team needs you to pack the Bob Devaney Sports Center on Friday, January 12th for their Big Ten home opener and a top 5 matchup against number 2 Iowa. The duel will begin at 6:30, and the first 300 fans will receive a Nebraska wrestling shirt. For more information or to secure your tickets, visit huskers.com/tickets or call 402-472-3111.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
I used to be a weight guy. I used to love weight.
You've never been a weight guy. That's a lie.
Let me tell you something.
You've never been a weight guy.
I was in a 300-pound club
no,
in
sir.
high school.
Yes.
No,
sir. Are you kidding
yes.
me? That 315 pounds would have sent him through the. It'd have been 6 feet under trying to figure out how to get up out that hole.
That's how
you ain't never been nowhere near that platform to get up there for lifter of the year.
I don't want to be lifter of the year. I want to be the player of the year. Who wants to be a lifter of the year when you want to be the player of the year? Nobody care about weights.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
This is a house of learned doctors.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
As soon as your eyes shut, I'm going to punch you square in the face.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. Welcome back. Welcome to the Happy Hour here on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. I'm Rico. Austin over here to my left. And today, Nebraska got some fantastic news. Yesterday, Nebraska got some very surprising, fantastic news as the transfer portal although it is closed.
You can no longer put your name in the portal unless you are an Alabama player.
Okay, closed. Nebraska got some great news as offensive lineman Micah Mazuka. That name should sound familiar to you if you were paying attention over the last year to Nebraska football, which if you're listening to the show, why weren't you last year? And wide receiver Jamal Banks have committed to the University of Nebraska. Now, Micah Mazuka, again, that name should sound familiar because last year, around this time, actually, he was considering Nebraska. He was down between Nebraska and Florida. He's a 6'5", 330-pound offensive guard, and he was transferring out of Baylor. He was referred to as a road grader, and he decided to go to Florida over Nebraska. When he got to Florida, was there for a while, Florida's strength and conditioning coach referred to him as a bare-knuckle brawler, which he then proceeded to show us all was true as he squared up and took a swing at a Tennessee player during this last season. So Micah Mazuka decides to leave Florida for his final season and transfer to Nebraska, adding to an already veteran offensive line. You think he will slide in there and play one of those guard spots to bolster an offensive line that is blocking for a true freshman quarterback.
Most likely a true freshman quarterback.
It's going to be a true freshman
Most likely a true freshman quarterback.
It's going to be Dylan Ryan.
Rico, between the Mazuka move and the Banks acquisition, Downtown Scott says it's Mazkua. That's how it's spelled.
That's how it's spelled. It's pronounced Mazuka. It's very weird, but
Bizarre.
that's how it's pronounced.
Yes. So you get Dylan Raiola. Obviously, hype is through the roof. And you're like, okay, been a good offseason already.
This is nice. I like this.
You get into portal season, and you haven't lost anyone major yet.
No.
Okay. I like where things are heading and trending.
Which is going to change.
Oh, yeah. It absolutely will. But for now, you feel good. And then, portal season's here, and you're looking to add to the roster. You want a big play wide receiver. Oh, wait. Here's this guy that was a, all-conference level performer his first 2 years at Wyoming. Averages 20 yards a catch on 50 catches, and Isaiah Nayor, who now has college football playoff experience with Texas. Hey, there's a wide receiver you can count on.
Hey, that's pretty nice.
I like that. Hope he stays healthy, but what an addition. And then, out of the blue, then you get Dowdle, right, visiting from Oregon. Hey, you don't know if you have it running back.
Yeah, you're looking to add to your running back room because you've got some injury-plagued guys in there. You have a guy who showed up last year in Emmett Johnson, but still young, still can do a little bit more to his body to be prepared for that Big Ten football. And you go to Oregon, and you get when he came out of high school was the number 8 running back.
High 4-star out of SEC country, went to Oregon, wants immediate playing time, looks the part of a Matt Rule style of running back.
What's it, 6'3", 215?
Yeah, somewhere between 6'2", 210, 6'3", 215.
When did running backs get over 6 feet?
Derrick Henry.
What is happening?
Derrick Henry, pretty much.
Ridiculous.
So you get Dowdle, you get Nayor on the same weekend. That's huge. Out of the blue,
out of nowhere,
Micah Mazuka just decides to tweet, "I'll be playing my last year of eligibility at the University of Nebraska, #GB." Like, what? Where did this come from?
I know you were talking to people who know more about this than us, and we were talking to people who know, and his name never came up.
And it's not like there's not a connection, right? Because he visited last year. His recruiting, profile before, he was recruited to Baylor by members of the staff, so they know him. And his younger brother is a walk-on on the team. I think it was his younger brother saying, he finally made the right decision. I don't know what took him so long to come around. Just kind of funny. But okay, so you get an offensive guard. You're probably missing both your guards. I mean, Nuri graduated, and Ethan Piper's coming off a knee injury. We'll see what his availability is.
Isn't he done?
He could come back for a year. I'm pretty sure. Because we were talking about that with Evan Blaine yesterday. And I thought he mentioned that Piper could come back.
I could have swore he was done because we were talking about this yesterday.
I thought he was too, but Evan put a little doubt in my mind.
Okay.
He might be back.
Maybe.
Either way, there's at least one guard spot, if not both guard spots up for grabs. You look like you have that locked down with a guy who's started and played at a high level at 2 different schools and 2 different conferences.
Again, road
like
raider.
That. And then today, You get the guy who is the number 8 receiver in the ACC, according to Pro Football Focus, that has over 1,000 yards in his career, sure-handed, big-bodied target, who Michigan and Notre Dame, I think Oregon was in on him too,
Mm-hmm.
and he chooses Nebraska.
Big schools.
Rico, I'm trying very hard
Don't do it.
to make this team prove it to me.
Don't do it.
I am getting excited.
Don't do it.
I am getting excited.
I have to wait until the season is 1 week away before I get excited. That's my rule. I will downplay it. And look, I'm warning all of you right now. Look. Hold on. Let's
look at Rico, stare into his eyes.
Look at me right now.
Look at him. He's the captain now.
I'm going to zoom in on my face really fast. Oh, and I'm moving your camera.
Oh, wait.
Hold on. I got to zoom in on my face real fast. Just real fast. All right. I need you all to look at me. Okay. I will downplay this entire offseason. Okay. I am not going to drink the Kool-Aid. I am not going to say how great this team is going to be. I'm going to make them prove it to me in practice, even though I'll never be able to see practice. All right. I am going to tell you how, they're okay. You know, it's a true freshman quarterback and the wide receivers are new and one's coming off of an injury. And, the running back is pretty young and the running back room's unproven. The offensive line looks good and we'll have questions about the defense. I'm going to do that. Okay. I will do that. But 1 week before the season is going down. We're going to get excited. We're going to have some fun.
Piper does have a year, by the way.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Dad. My brother played against him in high school basketball.
Really?
Yeah, and he's in his first year of law school, so he's got time.
Dang.
Yeah. My
All
brother,
right.
not Ethan Piper. Anyways, humble brag. So yeah, there's all of that. Jamal Banks' comments, Rico, about how it felt like family, it felt different, and he couldn't explain what it was at Nebraska. Like he couldn't put it into words. But as soon as he got here, heard from the coaches, he just felt a different vibe. This is only offseason number 2.
I don't like it.
And you're getting high-level ACC,
nope,
Pac-12, Big 12, SEC transfers.
Don't do this to me.
Rico, here's the thing. I have the reputation as the hater.
Mm-hmm.
That is me.
Mm-hmm. Keep it going, please.
I'm working on it,
I need you
but
to keep
I'm
it going.
finding it incredibly difficult right now. Of course, it will all hinge on the play calling and on how quickly the quarterback adjusts to whether it's the college game for the first time or a new offense, if it's, Harburg, whatever. But here's the thing. If Nebraska is actually able to reel in Dana Holgorsen as OC and quarterbacks coach, I am going over the edge.
He's not going to be the OC.
Yeah.
Satterfield's staying the OC.
Here's my rationale, right? Clearly, Satterfield is a Rule guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Rule loves Marcus Satterfield.
Mm-hmm.
Respect him for that. If he's your guy, what you do is you see him getting pilloried in the media. You respect the work he put in, but if you want to keep him around, the easiest way to keep him around is by taking OC off of his plate.
Yeah.
Keeping him as tight ends coach, where no one will think about it.
Yeah, but Austin.
All you have to do is not screw up Carter Nelson, and you're good.
Austin.
You can make someone else take the heat.
Austin, have you seen how much he's getting paid?
Think how much Dana Holgersen's going to get paid to be OC.
You're not taking
Rule didn't
that
use
away.
his whole staff bonus.
I
pool.
understand.
So
you're
there's
not
money
pay,
to be spread
you're not
around.
Pay a tight ends coach $1 million.
You might because he's your guy.
That's not going to happen.
He's your boy.
That's not going to happen. He's staying as the OC.
He's not staying as the OC.
He's staying as the OC.
You do not give Marcus Satterfield play calling responsibilities over Dana Holgersen.
If Holgersen comes in, he will be your quarterback's coach, and that is it. Maybe you'll go co-offensive coordinators. Maybe you do that. But you're not taking the offensive coordinator title away from Satterfield after the season ended and you said that he was staying on as your OC.
That was before he knew Dana Holgersen was available.
It's not
Things
happening.
can change.
That's not happening.
You can operate with the best information you have at the time and then change your mind when better options become available.
Austin, don't do that. Leave Satterfield alone.
I want him on staff. He's fine. I have very little beef with Marcus Satterfield.
He will stay as the OC and he will move to tight ends coach.
He will not.
We'll throw a co in front of it. We'll throw a co in front of it. Co-offensive coordinator, tight ends coach, Dana Holgersen. Again, if it happens, if the rumors are true, he was in town. Co-offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach. There you go.
Dana has been co-OC before, but in terms of the guy that actually calls the plays, it'll be Dana Holgersen.
Look,
Satterfield will be plenty involved in game planning, but Holgersen will call the plays.
Well, maybe that is true, but you're not going to take the title away from Satterfield. You can give him the co, and then he's just not going to call plays.
Isn't giving him the co a demotion?
Yes, but again,
so why do the half measure?
Because
take the heat off your guy. publicly.
Austin, because you're not going to take the money away from him.
You don't have to.
You're not paying a tight ends
save
coach $1 million.
coaching pool money.
How are you going to rationalize paying your tight ends coach?
You don't have to rationalize it. It's college football. It's Nebraska.
Ridiculous.
If you win, no one cares.
Pay everyone else more money.
Sure.
Okay, fine. If we're doing that, then I agree. Anyways, we when Jamal Banks committed, we had Schaefer, who was still in the studio. We brought him in. Well, he was still in the building. We brought him into the studio, and he was talking about how Jamal Banks and his being a big-bodied wide receiver, being experienced, how bringing him and Nayor, who, two experienced wide receivers, is going to help this very young wide receiver room exponentially. Because you look at a guy, he said, you look at a guy like Malachi Coleman, who is still pretty raw in terms of a wide receiver, right? He's a great athlete, showed that he could be a wide receiver this last season, but was probably a guy that you were looking to redshirt, him and the rest of the freshmen, Jalen Lloyd, Jaden Dawson.
Mm-hmm.
Now with these two experienced wide receivers, instead of just learning from Garrett McGuire and your wide receivers coach, you can mirror these guys who have done it before. Mm-hmm. This guy who in the ACC had back-to-back 600+ yard seasons, this guy who had 2 fantastic seasons at Wyoming, probably would have had some better seasons at Texas had it not been for an injury.
Mm-hmm.
You can mirror them, do what they do, learn from them in terms of, this is how you do this. This is what I would do. This is how you blah, 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 all of these things. And that's going to help this young wide receiver room exponentially. Because again, Garrett McGuire, no matter your feelings about him, no matter whatever, he is the wide receivers coach. And I think he did a pretty good job considering they had to play, 3 freshmen this last season at wide receiver. They made some improvements as the season went on, but there's no real, I can't remember the word for experience. Like you have no experience. Yeah, no substitute for experience. And these guys had the experience. McGuire was a quarterback who's coaching wide receivers. I'm not saying it can't be done. It is being done, but these guys have done it and they can show the young guys how to do it.
And done it at a high level, right? It's one thing to be experienced, to have been through a lot of practices and suited up on a lot of game days. But I think sometimes we're too deferential to experience just because it's an older guy when a younger guy's more talented. And there's a difference, right? If the young guy's not ready, go with the older experienced guy if the talent level is comparable in most cases, especially on the offensive and defensive lines, probably at linebacker, probably at safety where communication is key. If you look at receiver, if you look at running back, I tend at those positions to err on the side of let the younger guys cook. If they're just as talented and they're figuring it out on the fly, baptism by fire. But Nebraska bringing Nayor and Banks in at wide receiver is not just experienced guys, it's talented, experienced guys. 2 of them. Now, does that mean fewer snaps for Coleman, Lloyd, Doss?
Yes.
Yeah, it does. But I think they're creative, innovative ways that future offensive coordinator Solo, Dana Holgerson, will be able to
You're the worst.
Work in tight ends and, at least 2 of those receivers, if not 3 of them, with a running back. I don't think he's going to abandon running the ball, but my guess is Doss gets kicked down the line a little bit. He looked the least ready of them in game action.
Well, he was the most ready until he broke his hand.
He was, but he didn't come back quite as strong. So
a broken hand.
My guess is you see Nayor and Banks outside, Coleman as the backup. I think you see Lloyd in the slot a lot. I think Lloyd's your starting slot.
Don't forget, somebody's coming back off an injury. Isaiah Garcia Castaneda.
He is an experienced guy. He does not strike me as exciting as the freshman.
He'd be the slot guy.
I prefer Jalen Lloyd.
I do too, but I do like Isaiah Garcia Castaneda.
He's not bad, but he doesn't excite me.
He showed what he could do in one game 2 years ago, and then got hurt on his birthday in the first game against Minnesota.
He had a great game against Northwestern, no-showed, redshirted, portaled, unportaled, then got hurt. Again, he's fine. Like, it's fine having him back. I'm not mad about it. He'll play a role for the team, but
I think he'll be your slot guy.
I don't think he should be. I think it should be Lloyd. Again, let the young guy cook.
I love Lloyd. I love his speed. I love his athleticism. I'm excited to see him on the track this winter and spring as indoor season is upon us.
Mm-hmm.
But And although I think that and I said this before, coming in, I thought that he was going to be the best wide receiver in the class. I think that he still has a little bit of a ways to go and would benefit from, again, I don't want to say that he's going to redshirt, but I think he would do better with a red shirt. But his athleticism and talent is going to be hard to keep off the field to use in situations like I think they ran the reverse one time. He ended up getting a first down, but that's a play that you could use more often. And then his speed, just getting open down the field. But then again, that's kind of what Nayor is going to be.
Let me just address this on the text line real quick. 1256 says, Coleman not ready. To be a Big Ten, Power 5, true number 1 wideout, absolutely not. But he showed last year he's ready to be on the field.
Yeah.
In some capacity.
Again,
like, he's not a
raw.
superstar yet, but there's enough there that you're okay with him in a supporting role in one more year of seasoning, especially behind the scenes, the stuff we won't see. You're prepared for him to take the leap in 25.
Yeah. Again, he's raw. He hasn't been playing football all that long.
No.
But he's a guy who has insane athleticism, better than average hands, and is improving his route running every single day. So he's a guy who, again, might not be ready to be that number 1 guy this next year. Maybe and maybe will still be a little bit lower than you want him to be the following year. But he's a guy who can develop into a very solid Big Ten wide receiver.
Oh, yeah.
Again, not going to say right now, as things stand right now, not going to say all Big Ten, but a very solid Big Ten wide receiver that you can look at and think, yeah, this is a guy who, helps our offense to move along. I don't know. That sounds bad, but still.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Words are hard sometimes.
It's true.
We're going to take a break. Up next, the coaching carousel is crazy. We talked a little bit about the legendary coaches stepping down. What does that mean for where they were at? What does that mean for Alabama? Where are they looking? Who are they looking at? One coach who was rumored to pretty much be a lock, already not going to happen. Bill Belichick mutually parting ways. Usually that just means that they were fired from the Patriots. Pete Carroll mutually parting ways in terms of coaching from the Seahawks. He still has a chance to stick around with the organization in some role. But what's next for the Seahawks, for the Patriots, for Alabama? And you know what? Pour one out for your boy Nick Saban, everybody.
Here's the thing. $30 to the Upside Bar and Lounge, not just $15, $30 for the first person to come by the studio between now and 4 with a Coke and an oatmeal cream pie for me. In honor of Nick Saban.
There you go.
You know where to find me. I ain't hard to find.
We'll be right back. We'll be right back on the happy hour.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Husker fans, your 4th-ranked Nebraska wrestling team needs you to pack the Bob Devaney Sports Center on Friday, January 12th for their Big Ten home opener and a top 5 matchup against number 2 Iowa. The duel will begin at 6:30, and the first 300 fans will receive a Nebraska wrestling shirt. For more information or to secure your tickets, visit huskers.com/tickets or call 402-472-3111.
Season unforgettable? Celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union's low-rate debt consolidation loan. Combine all those bills into one affordable monthly payment with quick access to funds. Imagine all the extra cash for holiday shopping sprees, festive parties, or that well-deserved vacation. Stop by any of their branches or visit libertyfirstcu.com to find out more about their low-rate debt consolidation loan. Make this holiday season one to remember and celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. And Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service, we call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Service Ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
If you want all the latest technologies from those big banks, but you also want that hometown feel when you walk in the front doors, choose Midwest Bank. They have top-notch technology. They make banking so easy, and they also have the friendliest staff, who will take their time to get to know you and treat you like family. You get the best of both worlds when you choose Midwest Bank. I live on the go, and now I can bank on the go. With Midwest Bank, I have everything I need at my fingertips. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and at Midwest Bank, you'll love banking here.
Concrete Industries, a Nebco company, has immediate job openings for precast production laborers. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $20 per hour and a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer. Visit concreteindustries.com.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Hello, everybody. It's Charlie Stone, and here with me is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I hear that new Honda manufacturing continues to go up, and you have new Hondas in stock now.
That's correct, Charlie. We have more than 40 new Hondas in stock right now. It's great that a customer can come in and buy a new Honda and drive it home that day. New Honda inventory keeps getting better each month.
Okay, then. How about used cars, Andy?
We have more than 100 pre-owned vehicles to choose from right now, and a lot of fresh trade-ins are coming in daily. We have just about every maker model you can imagine in any price range.
Thanks again, Andy. People love the selection and great service at Honda of Lincoln. Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
This isn't the real Caesar's Palace, is it?
What do you mean?
Did Caesar live here?
No.
I didn't think so.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I love that rejoin. It's one of my favorites.
I didn't think so.
I didn't think so. It's one of my favorites.
It took me far too long to see that movie, but I'm glad I did. Yeah.
Great movie. Welcome back to the Happy Hour here on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm Rico. That is Austin. Again, join in on the conversation. 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line, and the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter/X. Again, I'm going to continue to call it Twitter. I don't care that it's called X. It is Twitter forever and always. And on Allo Channel 961, as we are all across this wonderful state of ours. But right now, we are going to talk about Nick Saban, Bill Belichick, and maybe a little baby bit about Pete Carroll.
Who do you want me to talk about?
I want you to talk about Nick Saban.
I'm not going to do it, so quit asking.
Perfect. Okay, so Nick Saban yesterday at what time was it? 4? It was right before old school.
3:55, 4.
Yeah. Nick Saban announces his retirement, and really he didn't announce it. Somebody broke the news, and then it was everywhere, and then it was this is actually happening. Nick Saban, legendary Alabama coach, announces his retirement, and the place, the college football world goes up in flames. It had been talked about for the entire season as oh, well, what happens if Alabama doesn't win? Does Nick Saban retire? What happens if they do win? Does Nick Saban retire? Is this his final year? Yada, 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 at 72 years old. And he did it. He actually did the thing. He steps down from being the head coach of Alabama, and nobody knows what is happening in Tuscaloosa. There were rumors that Dan Lanning had hopped on a plane and went to Tuscaloosa and was interviewing for the job, and it was a foregone conclusion that it was his and that the Oregon coach was going to be the new Crimson Tide coach. He releases a video about an hour ago-ish, a little over an hour ago, saying he's not leaving Oregon. He's not leaving. He's not bleeping leaving. That's not what it said, but I just love that one. You can always use that meme, that gif. He's not leaving Oregon. Now Alabama, although we don't know their plans, are seemingly back to square one. You have no head coach. You're not going to promote from within, because I looked at their coaching staff, and no, that's not happening.
It's not Tommy Rees season, is it?
No, it is not Tommy Rees season, and Kevin Steele already stepped away. He retired last week, or earlier this week, really. It's been crazy for Alabama. Alabama's going to poach somebody's coach. They're going to take somebody away from a different school. Nobody knows who. Nobody knows where. I want to put my money on Lane Kiffin, but there has been so little Lane Kiffin chatter that it scares me. It seemed like a foregone conclusion that Kiffin was going to take over for Nick Saban when he decided to step away. 3 years ago, it seemed like Dabo Swinney was the easy choice. The Alabama alum. He played football at Alabama, all of these things. And, he's a 2-time national champion at Clemson. But then Clemson has taken a small little downturn. And Dabo also wants nothing to do with NIL or the transfer portal. And Alabama is doing really well with both of those. So the students at Alabama in front of the Nick Saban statue, as they laid Cokes and cream pies down at his statue, we're chanting anyone but Dabo. They will take literally anyone else but Dabo Swinney. So, Austin, who is Alabama looking at? Who, if you're a decision maker, what's the name that you throw out there and see? Let's get this guy.
Well, if you want a bridge guy, you go with Nice Mike, former Alabama player.
Why?
Because I had to.
Why?
Okay, so
Can you imagine? First off, Mike Riley at Alabama.
Full circle.
Secondly, a Mike Riley season at Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
You go at 6-6 at Alabama. He doesn't make it out of the state. We don't see him ever. We don't see him ever again.
Alabama's been in 6-6 territory before, so it would not be.
It has been too long since they have been 6-6 territory.
It has. So I spent an inordinate amount of time last night on 2 projects. Number one was the 30 teams that are dreaming of a 12-team college football playoff bid next year. That broken down into tiers. My other project for today was different tiers of Saban replacements. The most likely candidates I narrowed down to 3. Lanning, who said no already.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's down to pick your flavor of Saban rehab school graduate.
I love that school.
Lane, who I think is in a good spot at Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the right level for him.
Mm-hmm.
Or Sark. Steve Sarkisian.
And I'd said this to you before, I don't think Sark leaves Texas. I think that he's in a really good spot at Texas, with Quinn Ewers just announcing that he's coming back and Arch Manning waiting in the wings.
I'm not saying he's not in a good spot. I'm just saying I think Alabama could look that way. Here are the guys that I think you at least call about after that. You ask Kirby, you make him say no.
He's going to say no.
I still don't hate the idea of Dabo, even if it's a weirder fit than it would have been before. I still think you make that call. I think you call Urban.
That's not an Urban. The thing with Urban Meyer, and I've heard that name thrown out a lot, is that's not an Urban school. They're not in a position for Urban to step in. Urban Meyer, what he does is he takes power programs and steps in when they're on the downturn and builds them back up because he knows, look, Ohio State went 6-6. I know they have better talent than 6-6. I'm going to step in there and win a national championship. Alabama, let's put it this way. If Alabama hires somebody and they lose 4 games and they decide they lose 4 games or 2 games, 3 games, 4 games, 5 games, whatever, in like a 3-year span, Urban Meyer will go there after that.
I think you call Harbaugh if he's not committing to Michigan. I think you call.
That's funny.
He says no, but I think you call.
That's funny.
I think you call Norvell at Florida State, even though your fans would say he didn't accomplish anything this year. I think you give him a call. I like DP's idea of Kyle Whittingham, even though Whittingham doesn't leave Utah.
How old is Whittingham?
Lower
60s? I'm gonna go
64.
60,
64.
I was gonna say 67.
Yep. I think Marcus Freeman and Ryan Day are down the list, but you might kick the tires if you get far enough, which would be a problem.
I would consider Ryan Day before I consider Marcus Freeman.
Likewise. The fun but there's no way category.
Okay.
Includes Dion.
I mean this in the nicest way possible. No.
Belichick.
He's a year younger than Saban. That's
Carroll.
not happening. He's the same age as Saban. That's not happening. He's not going back to college.
Ed Orgeron.
Although he does already have experience with NIL. Yes, please.
2 years ago, Lincoln Riley, but not anymore.
Not anymore?
Not anymore. Riley wants Alabama. Alabama does not need Lincoln Riley, and you hire Ryan Day before Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, but Lincoln Riley gets you a Heisman winner at quarterback.
Brian Kelly as Saban 2.0.
That would be hilarious.
Wouldn't it?
LSU would. They weren't sure about Brian Kelly they liked him, and then like 3 games in, he was like 1-2, and they were like, get him out of here. He's terrible. And they've warmed up to the idea of Brian Kelly, especially now that he's got him a Heisman winner.
Here's one that I moved into my fun, or from my fun but no into the fans say no category that you came up with.
I feel like Louisiana, Alabama would have a war if that happened.
Another one.
Big fan.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Jamie Chadwell.
Ooh. Where's he at?
Liberty. Jumped from
Coastal Carolina
to Liberty.
Interesting.
I love the idea of Jamie Chadwell at Alabama. It'll just never happen.
The fans definitely say no.
Some people have been saying Kalen DeBoer.
That's not happening.
That would be a tremendous get for Alabama. I'm not sold on it.
Would the fans like it?
Oh, here's another funny one. Jimbo.
He'd buy a team.
He would.
He'd buy a team. All the players would enter the portal until they get more money. And they'd be like, we know what you do.
Right. And that's where like my serious list ends.
Okay. I don't hate it, but like it's hard to, and I know I said that they're going to poach a coach, but all of those coaches, and look, they're going to get a good coach, but all of those coaches seem like they're in good enough spots aside from Lincoln Riley, probably, who, again, like you said, he wants Alabama. Alabama doesn't want or need him. I feel like he'd be their break in case of emergency because they could always just be like, hey, Lincoln, come on.
Oh, and the name I left off the list, like this is one I thought about. You call about James Franklin.
No.
You call about, he won at Vandy.
That's not.
He is on the doorstep at Penn State. You call James Franklin. Here's the other thing.
No.
Lanning's buyout was $20 million at Oregon. James Franklin's buyout is $6 at Penn State.
That's gross.
Franklin is gettable, and he's won in the SEC before.
No. That's a gross hire.
I think you kick the tires on James. He's not tops on my list, but that is definitely a name to consider.
That's a gross hire, not gross in a good way. Not gross in a, ooh, that's nasty. That's a gross in like a, nah, dude, don't do that. Don't do that, Bama. Don't stoop that low.
Okay, who are your names then, besides Lane?
I don't have any names. It's just Lane.
So you're just telling me no just to say no?
Yeah, it's Lane. It's Lane,
Who was it that said your little
Dabo.
ball of hate yesterday? Because I see it.
It's Lane, Dabo, Ryan Day. Ohio State wants him out, or at least the fans do. It'd be pretty easy to get him. Especially, I mean, he didn't beat Michigan again, so, and they won the national title. Why not just Ohio State's going to look for a new coach?
Someone was saying you call Mike Vrabel. He's not leaving the NFL.
That's not happening.
He is
And also,
going to be highly sought after as an NFL coach.
figured it out.
Who you got? Okay.
Alabama takes Ryan Day. Vrabel goes to Ohio State. Boom. Problem solved.
Okay, let's.
Bless you.
Sorry, your comment was nothing to sneeze at, but I had to sneeze anyways. Again, Vrabel is not going back to college.
He's not.
If Ohio State loses Ryan Day, runs him out of town, whatever it is it Brian Hartline? Or do they go get someone?
Urban Meyer comes back. I think it'd be easier to just promote Hartline, but also, is he just the wide receivers coach?
I think he's co-OC or
Okay. I mean, it's not like, just the wide receivers coach. I mean, Nebraska did that with
Mickey.
With Mickey, where he was the wide receiver. I mean, he had the associate. He had the associate head coach title.
Promoted in January. Hartline was
okay. Then that would make sense. It'd be a lot easier for them, and I feel like you'd keep a lot more players if you just did that, as opposed to going outside of the coaching staff and bringing somebody in. But right now with Alabama, I mean, it's like you have your pick of the litter, because Alabama is still a very, very attractive job. Like the roster that they currently have, again, depending on who leaves, is still very attractive for any coach that wants to go there. And regardless of your offense, you could really do whatever you want there. Like, they have the tools to be a pass-first offense. They have the tools to be a run-first offense. Their defense is never anything to sneeze at. That's a fantastic defense, always. You're going to have to bring... And then it's just what coaches stay, what players stay, because if certain coaches leave, you'll have some certain players leave. But, again, Alabama... I feel bad for the high school players who committed to Saban. Because although people say you commit to the school and not the cut, no, in Saban's, you were committing to Saban.
And here's the thing. You're not going to find a Saban-level coach to replace Saban. You're going to find one of the best available coaches. I bet one of the best coaches in the game right now. But yes, I tend to fall on the side of you should also commit to the school, not just the coach. But I was also never recruited, and I don't fully grasp the power of that relationship that every recruiting expert and every former college athlete we have come on these airwaves say is so strong. Also, I'm seeing this on the text line. Someone saying, well, if you're Ohio State, why don't you call Vrabel? I mean, call him, feel free, but he's your Dan Campbell.
Yeah. You just wait. He's there. You get him whenever you want him.
Right.
And you're just stuck with, not stuck, you're sticking with Ryan Day until you're done with Ryan Day. And then whatever Vrabel's doing, do you think Vrabel leaves a NFL head coaching job for Ohio State?
No. He's been a successful NFL coach. You don't leave a successful NFL tenure for college.
I feel like he'd still get a chance after college. I feel like he'd want to try it.
Well, you saw Schefter's tweet, right? Vrabel became a priority candidate for the other teams with openings.
Yeah.
You don't leave being a priority candidate in the NFL for college, even if it's your alma mater.
I'll just wait for I'll wait for the beginning of next week when they announce Vrabel as the new New England Patriots head coach.
Grill Bear says Harbaugh did. That's different. There was some major friction there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was the right timing. And Michigan, backed up the Brinks trucks for him. I mean, I get what you're saying. It's fair to a degree, but I think those are different situations, right? Like Michigan, before Jim Harbaugh, wasn't having the success now that Ohio State is under Ryan Day, right? Like Day's going to get his breakthrough here, right? Michigan's going to take a step back. Junior Colson just declared today, Michigan's not going to be the same, right? It's going to be back to being Ohio State's conference next year. So Ohio State and Oregon, those are your front runners.
Are you sure?
And then Penn State.
Washington?
No, Washington loses so much. Washington loses too much for me to feel comfortable. If it's not going to be Nebraska, I am most fine with Washington.
Iowa? They're Cade McNamara back.
Right. Which, again, that's a topic for another day.
They got
playoff contender tiers that I put together, too.
Eric Hall's coming back, right?
He is.
There you go.
Wait, no, is he?
You're losing, the best corner that you've had forever. But, you got a better offense, maybe, with a better quarterback. Your quarterback's not going to be 250 pounds.
Deacon Hill.
It's a big boy. While you look that up, I'm sure you'll find it before. We're going to head to a break. When we come back, we're going to bring in Eric Strickland. I'm going to ask him about a couple of the coaches stepping down. And really, I just want to ask him about New England and what Boston. Hold on. When was he in Boston?
Stricky?
Yeah.
That would have been. I'm looking it up right now. Eric Strickland played in Boston or Poston. Because Strick. He was there in the 2001-2 season.
Okay. So Belichick was there.
Just barely. Just barely.
I wonder if he went to a Patriots game. We're going to ask him. Eric Strickland, the crossover, coming up next on 93.7 Ticket.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello, everybody. It's Charlie Stone, and here with me is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I hear that new Honda manufacturing continues to go up, and you have new Hondas in stock now.
That's correct, Charlie. We have more than 40 new Hondas in stock right now. It's great that a customer can come in and buy a new Honda and drive it home that day. New Honda inventory keeps getting better each month.
Okay, then. How about used cars, Andy?
We have more than 100 pre-owned vehicles to choose from right now, and a lot of fresh trade-ins are coming in daily. We have just about every maker model you can imagine in any price range.
Thanks again, Andy. People love the selection and great service at Honda of Lincoln. Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
What do you think of when you hear the chocolate season? Artisan chocolates? Of course, they have the best chocolates this side of the Atlantic. Friendly neighborhood coffee shop? Yup, they're that too. A nationally recognized top-tier brunch spot. Waffle weekends, baby. And the place to grab a gift for literally any occasion? Everybody loves chocolate. See for yourself at the Chocolate Season, 40th and Old Cheney, or order ahead online at thechocolateseason.com.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Ready to make this season unforgettable? Celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union's low-rate debt consolidation loan. Combine all those bills into one affordable monthly payment with quick access to funds. Imagine all the extra cash for holiday shopping sprees, festive parties, or that well-deserved vacation. Stop by any of their branches or visit libertyfirstcu.com to find out more about their low-rate debt consolidation loan. Make this holiday season one to remember and celebrate with Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep your clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex at West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300. If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
We wait all pro football season for the big game. But will you come out on top? Warhorse Festival of Games is putting you at the center of the action with 2 chances to win big. Earn entries for our $100,000 prop card challenge daily at Warhorse Casino Lincoln. Enjoy slots, sports wagering, and horse racing. Then make your picks about the big game to be eligible to win. Qualifying entries will also be put in the running for your share of the $20,000 grand prize drawing. Increase your luck for the drawing by playing free online games on the Festival of Games website. Skip the trip to Vegas and get in on the big game right here at Lincoln's favorite place to play. And if that's not enough, our $1 Million Bracket Challenge for college basketball is coming soon. Full details are online at warhorsecasino.com. Warhorse Casino Lincoln, just minutes from downtown at Highway 77 and West Denton Road. Why not today? Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert.
Even before you start, that was a preemptive shh.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
I already had someone created in my image. He's evil, he wants to take over the world, and he fits easily into most overhead storage bins.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Heartbroken. Just gone. I don't know what to do with my life.
That's what you get for being important now.
Ridiculous.
Hi, Shirky.
What up?
Welcome to the crossover.
Iceberg Slim.
The Chris crossover. How you doing, man?
Freezing.
Freezing?
Man. This is what makes me feel like sometimes like, dang, did I make the right move?
You did.
Florida was Florida right about now. I'm not even talking about Texas. I'm talking about right now. No, you know what? Prayers up to the people in Panama City, Florida. Man, I mean, they got hit with tornadoes. I mean, them tornadoes, that's something that Florida folks ain't used to.
Tornadoes?
They're not used to that type of stuff. They're used to more of, the hurricane stuff, but the tornadoes
Alabama
went
get
through
tornadoes?
there. Yeah, it hit.
Oh, yeah.
It hit. Yeah, man. So shout out to those. I mean, everybody's getting pummeled in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
All throughout the states right now.
Speaking of Alabama.
Snowed, it was not snow. I think it snowed or iced in Scottsdale.
Yeah, that checks out. That makes sense.
You think that's regular?
Yeah, no, that's
Scottsdale's an elevation, right?
That's not
For
regular.
Flagstaff.
That's not regular.
That happens all the time. What are you talking about?
It is not regular. It is not yearly.
They get like a foot of snow every year.
Stop, Cap. I don't believe it.
Yeah, they do.
I need receipts.
It's a proven fact, Stricky.
I need receipts.
You believe me?
If you're a Scottsdale resident and you listen here to 93.7 The Ticket, shout out on the Honda Lincoln the Sutter Heyman text line.
Yeah.
Shout out on there, 402-464-5685. Let a brother know, because I don't believe it. I don't believe Rico right now.
Do you believe me?
No.
Well, because I'm lying, but
I
said it with a lot of confidence. So.
You did. You said it like it was very believable the way you came with it, but it was not fact.
That should not be snowing. Speaking of Alabama, and to a much less degree of a tragedy, a much less degree of tragedy, Nick Saban retired,
I saw that, man.
Right as you were getting off the air.
I know it was a hot off the press.
Being a Auburn native.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Well, when he came, things shifted, and we kind of got at him a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Let him know. You new to the game. We're gonna let you know something. But then all of a sudden, the tides turned very quickly.
Yes.
And we're hoping that now there's a fall from grace, and Auburn can rebound. Get a little bit more rebound, a little bit more space to operate.
I've been saying and thinking that with the 30-day window for transfers out of Alabama, they're going to get picked clean, right? Depending, but it depends on how quickly, which
they can get.
It should be done. I don't know, probably in like the next day or two. Like they're not going to wait around that long. How quickly they can get a head coach and who that head coach is in terms of being able to keep those players around. But for the most part, like they already lost their 5-star wide receiver who had committed in the 2024 class or something like that. They're going to get picked apart, right? Like their roster going to just go everywhere.
I think you said the key word, and I want Austin to speak on it because I think this is not in detail because this is something we're going to talk about.
You guys are going to get into it. So I don't want to get all your guys' thoughts.
But go get him.
The thing about Saban is, again, kind of what I was saying at the beginning of the show, so I can throw this out to you. Alabama knew what greatness was. Like, there's some of that infrastructure in place behind the scenes. Saban had to do a lot of reining in. Right? They kind of lost their way. They were out in the wilderness to some degree. What Saban did to go from, mid-2000s football, defense, run first, honestly kind of Big Ten style, to keep that tenacity on the lines, offensive and defensive lines, but adapt to modern college football when so many other places had the same opportunities, speaks to why I think people are going to be glad that Nick Saban's gone. He's what everyone has been chasing, trying to measure up to for the last, 15, 16, 17 years now at Alabama. People are done chasing him. Like, who's the standard now? Probably Kirby. But Dabo's got the same number of natties. Other than that, there's no icon, there's no figurehead at the top of college football now as that legend, that icon. And I think
it seemed like a lot of come and goers, like your Orgerons and guys that kind of hit and
dip.
Yeah.
Or just aren't that good. So they have their run of success, but they're not able to adapt. Or there's some little bugaboo that trips them up.
So you're saying there's a void right now?
I'm saying there's a big void. I'm saying there's a big void in college football now. I'm saying there's a big void in the NFL right now. I think there's about to be one in the NBA. Unless Spoelstra slides into that pop role potentially. The place that I think the void doesn't exist is college basketball, because that is such a coach-centric sport. NFL, you have your Belichicks, your Reeds, your Landrys, Shulas, whatever. But the NFL, I think, is trending NBA-ish, where it's personalities and players. College basketball, the biggest star is Caitlin Clark, but she is by far the exception, right? Maybe you throw Zion in there for his year, but college basketball, you still have Izzo. You still have Self. So you didn't really notice that Krzyzewski and Williams and Boeheim retired. You're going to notice that Belichick is gone. You're going to notice that Saban's gone.
Good point.
Big voids being made.
Good point.
When you look at the SEC, does this look? It's still the best conference, right? Maybe with Saban gone.
I mean, you just had two basically Big Ten teams.
Yeah, like you have Kirby. You have Kirby, who's going to be the top of the mountain in the SEC.
Yeah.
But I heard, I think it was DP and Jay were talking about this yesterday, is like you just said, there's a massive void now in the SEC, and nobody's going to be chasing Saban because he's gone now. So what does that do to the SEC's like hierarchy? What does that do to the SEC's ranking and branding? And like Alabama, if they take a step back, you look at the SEC and it was always you have Alabama, Georgia, like those teams at top, but Alabama would account for like 3 teams in another conference, right? So now they take a step back more than likely. You have Georgia, you have LSU, who had 4 losses this year. You have Florida. You have
Tennessee,
who
depends on what you believe about Missouri.
They might take a step back.
Ole
Missouri
Miss.
with Elia Drinkowitz. Like, are they still like now? Is it top heavy or is it pretty balanced in terms of like?
I'll go first because I love the way you shoot. I'll drop an assist. Here's the thing. Now that you're starting to move yourself into super conferences, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that you didn't really talk about was the Big 12. Like that's kind of like becoming the Cinderella stepsister in some form or fashion.
I still have the Big 12.
But here's the thing, though, right? Because of now the NIL, which I think Saban should shift into some form of a committee or some form of working with the NCAA, continue to have an impact on the game by way of trying to rein in this toothpaste spewing thing what we call now NIL, right? Figure out how to encapsulate that, because I saw something just recently and it was Brock Purdy's making like $856,000, but Manning, Arch Manning down there in Texas, he's saying he's not taking it because he's going to wait till he's a starter or whatever the case is. But his NIL valuation is almost $3 million. He's making more than what an NFL potential MVP candidate is making. I think that's ludicrous. I love everything about it, but figure out a way to. I think these valuations are just absolutely crazy.
They are just valuations. He's not making the $3
Yeah,
million.
well,
They're
some
just
are.
saying he's worth the $3 million.
Some are.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
And that's the part. Again, I
wouldn't be
still think
surprised
it
if
should
Quinn
be.
Ewers was making that $3 million.
I'm telling you, I still think it should be some form of, performance. You got to show and prove. I mean, just you walking in the door and you getting all these millions or hundreds of thousands of dollars. I think, well, then let old uncles throw a little something his way. Drop him in the NIL.
He didn't need a scholarship.
Isn't it really funny that Arch Manning is not the son of Peyton or Eli?
He's the son of the better athlete.
Of the one that really they said was the
Cooper
best.
was the best athlete.
Yeah.
He got hurt.
It just cracked me up. Void in the SEC. Yes, my guess is Alabama kind of becomes LSU, where LSU is one of the highest ceiling jobs in the country, but we see the floor fall out very often. There's always going to be talent. It's a blue blood job. But again, Bama's wandered the wilderness quite a bit when they don't have that big figurehead. Like, there was a gap between Bear Bryant, even to Gene Stallings, who won that one in 92, Stallings to Saban. Bama was, dare I say, mid. They're fine. They're pretty mid, though. So I think Bama's still going to be good. They're still going to be playoff contender. They're not going to take a huge, massive step back at first. I think there's still going to be some Saban residual for a
couple years,
3 years, 2-3 years.
Okay.
Then that's when, it's the new staff's guys, their systems. How much of the infrastructure are they able to retain? How big a role do politics play? Because I think Bama, will still win between 8 and 10 games every year for a while. But I do think a lot of the veneer, the luster, oh my gosh, it's Alabama, that factor is gone.
I think, and the last thing I'll say is I think with the super conferences as well, and the transfer portal is out of whack. I think just parity along the super conferences is going to continue to balance itself out. And there's going to be, with this void, it's going to create new opportunities for new teams to kind of step into the place. Is it going to be like a Missouri? Is it going to be a Tennessee? Is it going to be someone in the Big Ten? Who's it going to be? You know what I mean? I think that's still a possibility with how crazy this transfer portal is and can be.
I wonder what everybody's going to do with their "We Want Bama" signs. When are we going to get the? When are we going to get the? Well, there's nothing to do in Tuscaloosa. I mean,
tomorrow.
Look, you get everybody's always like, "Oh, there's nothing to do in Lincoln, Nebraska." Well, what's there to do in Tuscaloosa? I don't know. Seems like just a college. It seems like it's just the university.
That's just what it is.
I don't know. What's coming up on the show, gentlemen?
We'll keep talking about this.
Not much to do in Alabama, period. Just to be honest. I love Alabama, but I'm sorry.
I want Stricky's candidates for Alabama. Who makes sense? Who's the best fit? And does Alabama, like we're kind of talking about here, do they wander in the wilderness? Do they sustain? College basketball chaos, 1, 2, 3, and 5 all went down in the last 48 hours. So we'll talk about that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Belichick and Carroll retire, kind of like we mentioned again. Who takes the mantle? Who are the best young coaches in pro sports with the chance to ascend? And then we'll play some matchmaker, right, in the NFL.
Ooh.
Vacancies, who fits? Who do we think?
Nice. All right, you guys can listen to all that on the block. Coming up next, this was a happy hour. Thank you all for listening. Nick's gone forever, it seems like. But me and Austin will be back tomorrow. Adios.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
What do you think of when you hear the chocolate?